Hello, I'm Amanda Fowler of Inspiring Inkin. Welcome to my craft room. In today's video, we're going to be making a tower butterfly card. This card here, let me bring it up close. We're going to be using some beautiful butterfly die cuts, some new papers. It's a really straightforward card to make, but it folds flat for posting, which is awesome. And yeah, let's get started. So I'm just going to quickly run through some of the products that I'm using today. The main focus of the project is these beautiful papers. So from Celebration, you can earn these papers for free in January and February 2024. And this paper pack is called the Sunny Days 12 by 12 papers. There's 12 sheets in a pack. 2 sheets each of 6 double-sided designs. Now, the papers are actually designed to coordinate with this bundle, which is in the January to April mini catalogue. It's called Bright Skies, and you'll see the imagery on the papers. That's kind of what it's designed to go with. However, I have chosen today to partner it with the butterflies, and I'll explain all about those in a minute. So let's check the papers out. So you've got some sunshines and these beautiful flowers. You're going to be seeing this on another project soon. And this is actually designed as sort of rain slanted in, hoping the camera will be able to pick it up. And some beautiful cherries. Flowers again, but this time all in green, which is really nice. And some rainbows. More flowers on a poppy parade background and a gingham effect. Lots and lots of clouds. Again, you're going to be seeing these as well. Got quite a few projects coming up over the coming weeks, and you'll be seeing those then. And this image too, which is great for the scrapbookers amongst us, but equally it works really well as a 6x4 piece on a card front. And then this is the one that I'm using today. Beautiful butterflies. Let me show you close up. This is crushed curry and then strawberries on the back. It would be lovely if it was strawberry season right now. Okay, so this is actually the card that inspired today's project. It's actually a tower card sent to me by one of my team, the lovely Leslie. And it folds flat to go in the post. So thank you, Leslie, for the card. And I will get on with making mine. Now, what else have I got? Oh, oval punch. That's the duo oval punch. Early espresso and crushed curry ink. I've got a couple, a blending brush and a sponge dauber. And then the stamp set that I'm using is inked and tiled. I'm just using this little happy birthday here just for the sentiment. Now I have already pre-cut all of the card and the paper. I will give you the measurements as we go, but please don't worry. There will be a link underneath the video, just down there. If you're watching on YouTube, sometimes you have to click like see more or more information, something like that. And there'll be a link direct to my blog post. On the blog post will be all the measurements. So please don't worry if you don't catch them as I'm saying them, you'll be able to print them off. So we've got those pieces and that. And I've got some more white. Okay, so I promised I would talk about these. These are butterfly die cuts. Now I'll just get one sheet out to show you. So there are 5 butterflies on each sheet. And Here we go. Let me tell you how many sheets. I know you get loads. It was really exciting. So page 23 and the catalogue. So you get 40 butterflies in total. So you get 8 of these sheets. So you get loads. Now the trick to colouring them is to do it whilst they are white on white. That's not going to work, is it? Hang on, let me put it on my silicone mat. That might work better. Yeah, that works better. You can see that. It's much easier to get colour onto them when they're like this, actually, in position, because you've got really, really fine antenna there. So realistically, you might tear them if you try and do it out. And, you know, just go steady. Be careful with them. So my plan was to colour them with crushed curry and then do a little bit of accents with the early espresso. So I'm going to go over all of them with crushed curry, and it's going to get lighter and lighter as I go because I haven't re-inked, but that's not a bad thing because that gives us tone. So I'll re-ink and do a bit darker there on the body and there and there on the outer wing. And then I'm going to get my sponge dauber and just add a little bit around those edges. Again, just be careful. Sponge daubers aren't as soft as the blending brushes. This is quite harsh almost, and it's interesting because I always thought sponge daubers were quite soft, but compared to the blending brushes, they're not. So just be careful, and you can see I'm kind of holding down the butterfly as we go. You can kind of dab, you'll get sort of a speckly effect. So I'll do that on one of them as well, and then I'll show you kind of what they look like. It's a bit of a magical mystery tour until they come out and you actually see what they look like. But it's just like nature intended. They will all look very slightly different. And let me just do a bit more on that body there. There we go. Okay, so let's move that out of the way. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that to one side for a few minutes to dry, and then I'll pop them out and show you them. And then the other thing that I need to do is to stamp my sentiment. And I'm going to stamp that happy birthday in early espresso. And then give it a punch out. And then punch that in crushed curry to layer that up in a few minutes. Okay, so this is a really, really straightforward card. It's a long piece of card that's scored, and then this piece kind of curves back in on itself. So we're going to start out with a piece of cardstock that is 5 3/4 inches tall by 10 1/4 inches long. And we are going to score at 4 1/4 inches, 5 3/4, 7 1/4, and then 8 3/4. Now what that gives us is a card base and then 4 pieces that are 1 1/2 inches wide. Now, the way I'm actually going to fold this, I'm actually going to flip it round because I want the smaller score lines here, and they're going to fold in on one another. So just to reinforce the score lines, use your bone folder. And it doesn't matter because obviously the cardstock's got no pattern or direction on it. It doesn't matter which way round you go, but just so you can get the folding correct, you're going to have the widest bit on the right hand side, and then these pieces are going to fold over and stick down. Now it's always easiest to glue things when it's flat. So what we're going to do first is actually stick this down so that we can attach everything else. So this piece goes down first. So it's the very end scored piece. I'm just going to put my Tombow glue over the whole thing. And then I'm just going to fold it down. So it's only one score, and the cut edge is butting up against the score line, and then you've got the larger piece here. So we're just going to fold it in, and it's just going to fold down flat. Now, should you have mismeasured in any way, this won't go flat. So you'll be able to figure it out what you've done wrong. But that is the tower of the tower card done already. Totally, it's just a quick card. So now what we're going to do is put layers on the left-hand side, the center, and the right-hand side, and then here as well. So like I said, it's easier to pop it down when this is flat. And we've got the patterned pieces here. So we've got 4 pieces of early espresso, and they are 5 1/2 by 1 1/4. And then we've got 4 pieces of patterned paper, which are 5 1/4 by 1 inch. Now, just make sure this is a directional pattern because of the butterflies on it. Just make sure that you're sticking them the right way up. So we'll just get the patterned paper onto the cardstock layers first. And then we'll put those layers onto the card itself. Now, obviously, I'm using patterned paper today, but you could use stamped images. You could emboss. Use lots of different embossing folders. That would look really lovely. Perhaps do a different embossing folder on each of the panels. And again, I've used the same paper on all of the panels, but you don't have to do that. Oh, let me just, that one had gone a bit wonky. Let's move it over a little bit. There we go. I love Tombow glue because it allows you to move things after you've stuck it down, but sometimes it can slip and slide on its own. Okay. So we're going to put 3 of these panels on the tower. So that's 1. That's 2. And then I'm putting 1 here on the inside. That's 3. And then this 4th one is actually going on the inside of the card. But first, I want to pop in this white layer. So this is 2.5 by 5.5. It's just going to go there. It just gives you somewhere to write. But if you wanted to decorate all of that area as well, you could put a piece on the back. It's up to you. So that's the last piece. And that's just going to sit there like so. So then when it's closed, you'll see all 3 panels, and then you've got your spot there to write as well. So now we're going to add the sentiment and the butterflies. I've got Tombow on my fingers. Let me just unsticky them. So I'm just going to layer that piece up. And decide where I'm going to put that. It's going to go on this center panel here somewhere, but it depends where I put my butterflies. So let's get these butterflies out first and show you how they've turned out. So as you're pushing them out, just be careful. They've got like little paper tags that kind of hold them in position. So just gently pull them and you'll just see how they come out. You can run around with a pair of scissors, but if you just pull them gently, it'll be fine. There we go. How beautiful do they look? And obviously you can colour these to whatever colours you want. Now, when I stick these down, they're going to go onto the card. Oh, they're going to go onto the card. And what's actually going to happen is you're going to be able to see the underneath. So, had I thought of that before, I would have coloured them, but I didn't. So, what I would suggest you do, like I said, they're much easier to control when they're in. I would turn them over and colour them the other side as well. Now, I'm not trying to match up the colours in any way. I'm just deadening the white a little bit. And these do work really well as stencils as well. Right, okay. So let's have a look. So I really like this one. And maybe that one as well. So I think, I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, the colours, they're quite pale against the white. So I'm actually going to go in with a little bit more of the early espresso. So let me get my sponge dauber and just give it a little bit more definition on those edges. And a little bit down that center. So, because I want it just, there we go, I want it to pop just a little bit more. I'm going really gently because I don't want to tear them. And then a little bit more there. Bit more intensity. There we go. So that will just pop. And then, oh. No, I think 2 will be good. 2 will be good. So I'm going to hold the butterfly and bend its wings up. So I end up with a flat piece in the center where the body is. And then I can pop that down. And the wings will stay up and the body will stay flat. These ways, that's the plan. So I'll pop that one flying in the opposite direction. And then the happy birthday there in the center with a couple of dimensionals. To hold it in place. Okay, let me just move the ink pads and things out of the way. Try and tidy up just a little bit. And then we have the finished card. So the tower stands like so. Obviously, it will fold completely flat to go in the post. It will squash your butterflies a little bit, but that'll be fine. And then stands beautifully like so. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's tower butterfly card. If you'd like the measurements, you will find everything on my blog. There'll be a link if you look down under See More below on YouTube. You'll be able to see all the measurements over on my blog. Let me just pop a banner up there. That's where you'll find it, www.inspiringinkin.com. All of the products that you've seen today you can purchase from my online store there as well. And do subscribe to my blog and you'll be the first to hear about all of my latest tutorials and creative inspiration. Thank you so much for joining me today. Goodbye.